Now, we're left with only 96 hours. Now, we're counting hours, no more days. 96 hours before we enter the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Just know that this is your way of staying tuned here on Eswatini TV. So, some of the teams, over 14 teams, have already landed in Doha, Qatar, to take part of the tournament. Among those 14 teams, including England, Wales, and Senegal, that will be playing on second day alongside the likes of Netherlands. They have already landed for the biggest occasion. You can't wait. We can't wait. The rest of the world cannot wait. The remaining 16 teams to complete 32 will be also landing in the upcoming days. Hello and welcome. This is Temidlalo. We're approaching the biggest moment of the football history. Now, first ever edition, of course, to be hosted at this time of the year. So a lot is at stake. We'll be talking about that. I talk about also other things that accompanies the tournament, be it the songs, be it the motivation, be it anything that also applies in motivating the supporters. That will be some of the things that will take center stage. Otherwise, talking about some of the sporting codes that are taking center stage here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Over the weekend, there was the M10K Money, the 9th edition of the Road Classic race. We talk about how on a rainy day condition, the cyclists all the way from neighboring countries, even our own cyclists, how they managed to compete on the day. Otherwise, talk about improving clubs and adding numbers. A cycling club, as a cycling association, as an association, are trying to increase the number of clubs they have in the country. Now we have a new club by the name of New Splash. We'll touch on how the club has been able to be established, who runs the club, and the benefits that comes with the clubs. Otherwise, many reasons why you should be stay tuned with us. The World Cup is approaching. You want to know what your number one station will be offering you. You want to know how we'll be ushering you into the 2022 edition. And it's going to be live here on Eswatini TV. Your host, Fabrice Msonela. I'll be in the company of our in-house Linda Dlamini. You can watch us on different platforms, Eswatini TV app. You are on the move. YouTube can still apply. You are home. You're enjoying the blanket in the sitting room. This is Skujani and other means that you can use. Otherwise, he's not also going to tell you only all the things that you want to know. He's going to give you what you call "Did you know?" Some of the questions he's prepared. Would say, "Usasonzela World Cup." There's that knowledge, sharing the knowledge from you. Nguvusela Nkosi.
Ngiyabonga Fabrice ngekuthuba lokukhulu ngivusele emalwel viewers sothenza yona indzawo ye-World Cup ngicabanga ukuthi le fever ikonke umuntu ukuthi i-World Cup seyisonzele indzabe emhlaba but nje Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi lokho umcwa kakhulu as ama-Africans sifocus kakhulu kuma-African countries and ama predictions vele aqalile president wase Cameroon Samuel Eto'o so vele ushilo ukuthi kuma finals kuya iCameroon neMorocco Cameroon tafike ithathe but dream big, African child, Nazi, siyabhutsa.
Dream big. That's how they call themselves. Some of the countries now they call themselves 5-time winners. And nabakhuluma ngabo 5-time winners bakhuluma ngabo 1958, bete 72, bete 76, bete 1994, 2002 ngbo Brazil. These are some of the countries coming to the tournament. Senegal, one of the team masters coming to the tournament, they have a history. They have always managed to pass the group stages on 3 occasions. What can we expect, Master Kula Mavela? Sangena masinyane kule ngoma ye World Cup.
Fabrice uteka indzaba ilikhetho leseve lase Senegal in 2002. That's when they made history. Baka umlando because bashaya the then defending champions lebe France lebe winning in 1998. Alusise long coach nyalo licembu le Senegal likhetho leseve lase Senegal bekan captain at that time bese sekuba nabo El Hadji Diouf bekubadlala labo excuse me bekubadlala labo beba ilithemba leAfrica lilinengi kakhulu kubo ngicabanga ukuthi Ghana 2010 unfortunately yangakhona ukuthi iwine ku Uruguay ngaleso sikhathi leso. Cameroon besethembile 2014 the last World Cup yawa Samuel Eto'o but nakhona yangakhona ukuthi yende kahle bodidi Drogba ba retire abakakhona ukuthi bafikele okungenani kuma quarter finals alenzebe but sethemba ukuthi kulomnyaka the likes of Senegal Cameroon, Ghana, yabo Thomas Partey, nabo Ayew, the Ayew brothers, Didi Ayew, Jonathan Ayew. Sithemba ukuthi kukhona labantu asibeka khona as an African country, bese so yabo Morocco, bo Ziyech, Ziyech beka solo akabitwanga ke last AFCON, wathatha umhlala phasi but nyalo ubuyile. Sithemba ukuthi nakhona lapho kukhona mhlambe invo iMorocco letasinika kona this time around, because bona they play like the European teams, but when it comes to the biggest stage, they always always bottle it up.
I told you that's why he's here. He gives you the you know how. Now talking about the likes of Ziyech in Morocco, that's Morocco. They are also part of the World Cup. Just letting know the viewer that there's actually two Ziyech. There is a Ziyech for Chelsea, and there's also Hakim Ziyech for PSG. And then there's also Tunisia.
No, but that's Hakim.
Hakim, yes. Yeah. There's also Tunisia. Now let's get into the World Cup itself, Master. The World Cup ibane a song that the hyper tournament itself. But to our surprise, this World Cup, I think, to my memory, I think there's more than 3 or 4 songs that have been released for this World Cup. There's a song we're about to listen, but just give us the explanation, Master. Lengoma na release prior to the tournament. What's the message? Saibona Waka Waka 2010, yabo Shakira 2018, Sagbona Russia, Sagbona 2014, Brazuka. What's the idea behind the song that is always brought prior to the World Cup?
For President Joba usho ukuthi every tournament iba ne theme song yayo. I remember nje Euro 2008, Enrique Iglesias released the song Euro 2008, 2010 World Cup. Yena Shakiri Waka Waka, it's time for Africa, and ngicabanga ukuthi iAfrica yonke yaba united ngaleso sikhathi leso, and yonke ingoma noma yonke i-theme song leyakhelwa leyo World Cup leyo suke ihambisana naleyo live noma nangaleyo continent lo hostako nalele live le hostako, the culture kuyabhicwa lapho leti ngoma, even R. Kelly, Robert Kelly naye wakhokha ingoma featuring Soweto Gospel Choir for i-World Cup ya 2014 in Brazil. Nakhona bekune-theme song lebe irrelevant to indlela the samba yase-Brazil famous kakhulu. 2018 Russia, I know ukuthi labanengi
understand
relate kakhulu, but the performances, I remember Robbie Williams performing opening ceremony, one of my icons emhlabeni. So Qatar 2022 in theme song yakhona, but the years for Africa, the African countries lakhona ku Qatar 2022 World Cup. So nakhona lapho i-relator nathi as African isihloko sayo sithi we made it. So I think it's relevant for us African countries because we made it to Qatar.
Now, football might not come to the land of Africa like they said it in England, but for us, we made it as the continent of Africa. Now, we're going to listen to the song. You, as a viewer, just do me one favor. Look at the outfit of the people in the song. Look at the environment where they are. Let's also look at the type of races of people in the song. I'm not trying to encourage the viewers to be racist, but just look at people who are appearing in the song. Then we come with an analysis. It will give us an idea of what type of World Cup are we referring to.
This is the moment we've been waiting. It's time to rise up, do it again. Africa, do your dance now. Go do your winning dance now. So we never lose it again.
Contrôlez, marquez le but. Ensemble, sauter de joie. Allez-y, on va se régaler. Africa, Africa, Africain, do the skin out. They make direct, do the skin out. Africa, on yeah. Senegal mingi chibir, nyukale warna matay. Africa do deski now. Africa do gal na pu. Football bi kubla ñu fay. Ñew na Republic bi now.
Africa we did, when the boys know they play. Yeah, when the stage lights on and the world looks on, we are seizing the day. More than a game, carry hopes and dreams. Whole continent and our back it seems. Victory calling, ring, ring, ring. All in together, let our voices sing. Oh say it, yeah, oh say it, yeah, oh say it. We they take them go there, we they come carry go you here. Oh say it, yeah, oh say it, yeah, oh say it. We they take them go there, we they come carry go, 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 go.
Heshima kwa bara lote, maadili yetu mazuri, hiyo ndiyo heshima yetu.
Oh say it, yeah, oh say it, yeah, oh say it.
Allez-y, on va se régaler.
Oh say it, yeah, oh say it, yeah, oh say it.
Kubag ñu bëgg Africa on yeah.
Africa rise up, yes we gon' rise up. Africa rise up, Africa rise up, yes we gon' rise up. Africa rise up.
You and I have made it as members of this continent of Africa. The question might remain, you and I from this south region of the continent. Sort of said, but cups at this more but let's acknowledge it's an African song in as much as piano local. But at the end of the day, this is sort of dominated by the north area, because at some point Swahili, at some point where they were explaining how beautiful it is for countries to dominate as well. So, which I think we relate at the point of the day. And Kurmenga environment is totally Africa.
Yeah.
Gabona Garamari Players Master. We made it.
Unity Fabrice.
Yes.
As African countries, setting up by United, more especially in Africa, in the Mhlaba World Cup, setting up Sibonakala Skombise the world. Africa is united. I remember 2010. Ghana ngicabanga ukuthi wonke umuntu beka iBlack Star naseyifika class 16 besifuna sonke ukuthi iGhana iwelele ngale kuma quarter finals welele kuma semi finals. Imagine if Ghana made history by becoming the first ever African country to reach a semi finals of a World Cup final. So ngicabanga ukuthi all the countries, the 5 countries, but Fabrice, there is history kule World Cup le. For the first time ever, African countries on 5 Ostlan ahambe nabo coach bakulelo live shothi bonke homegrown talent nangayibeka kanjalo baqiqeshi labahambako Cameroon, Senegal, Morocco, Tunisia, Ghana bonke
on social media ngengabona nathi siyatrenda nje sike sakhipha national team yethu that could go to the World Cup. So if we were to take our own team nang Dominic Sokon ayikuthi silanza umuntu ngaphandle ukuthi asicoach. So every team they are World Cup the coach something to be proud of.
Yes, but sorry, Fabrice, we are so unfortunate ukuthi as a country sisengakhona ukumixa umuntu noma one of badlali bethu bake bahambe nje bayodlala ku World Cup. ngicabanga ukuthi labadlala la khaya bahambe bayodlela World Cup even in South Africa ke this World Cup 2022 kude umdlali loya ku World Cup bekunelithemba ukuthi mhlambe lomnye goalkeeper waseGhana ofori utakuya ku World Cup
bebambithile kuja kuri professional squad.
yes usele ngicabanga ukuthi eMaswati Ncumbi ayilandzela ibhola yase South Africa kude so vele sizawu rely kakhulu kulabadlali labangale north the North African teams, the Northwest African teams kakhulu.
All right, we scanning the environment, Master. I think it's December, November. A lot of issues were highlighted. Washo vele FIFA President Infantino labakhuluma ipolitiki bayekela. Singangena ku politics, but we're looking at the environment, Master. The World Cup is coming, temperatures are being spoken and everything. We're talking about also some of the stadiums that will be used. We look at them. To you, when you look at, now we're bringing it home, to you, when you look at African nations, and I know when you look at Tunisia, it's where people are feeling like they don't have maybe that much of well-known faces. But now Bogabo Morocco, now Senegal, we're go Cameroon, we're go, go Ghana, there's those faces we find in the English Premiership.
Yeah.
Can we get at some point a chance to make history? Because bavire bonke bakhuluma bo song we Cameroon na Brian Beumo dodlala eBrentford ukuthi vele it's a dream come true. But when you look at the group stages, Senegal in the Netherlands, in the likes of Ecuador and Qatar, can Senegal shock Netherlands? I mean, it's not new to them. Bomane kudlala nabo Virgil van Dijk, bo Memphis Depay, but can we shock anyone? And why is everyone giving the trust to Senegal? I mean, Ghana can still also make a change. Anyone can come here and surprise. Your money is on.
Sorry, I think le composition yale squad sase Senegal uyasibona ukuthi siphethe Masters yes Koulibaly the captain ku defense Mendy ku goalkeeper ku midfield kunabo Check Kuyate kunabo Bokey yes so ngicabanga ukuthi le ndlela le team lengiyo eSenegal remember ukuthi bama reigning champions eAfcon so vele ungagatsa lokukhulu kubo. Yes, Ghana World Cup bafike bende kahle but they are the lowest ranked team kule tournament lena from Africa, so ngicabanga ukuthi angeke uze urely kubo kakhulu. The Ayew brothers Jonathan Ayew and Didi Ayew so yangekhula but now ubuka the midfield yabo Thomas Partey and balance the right back here Brighton Lamti akadlala ama-games lamanengi utabacala akudlala i-major tournament kuyo iGhana, so ngicabanga ukuthi iGhana ungete wagatsa kuyo kakhulu. Then Morocco ngishilo ngathi there are some now experienced players ukhuluma ngabo Hakimi lolo dlalela iPSG very one of the best right backs la khona emhlabeni. Then Ziyech bekacabene ke na coach wabo before iAfcon, hence wasesothatha leyo early retirement, but he's back with the national team yakhona eMorocco. I think lama African countries Cameroon ngicabanga ukuthi nabo le ndlela Samuel Eto'o tsitena kangena eoffice as president wakhona eCameroon wakhombisa ukuthi washo ukuthi utabasekela ama allowances bawathola ama bonus. In fact kune winning bonus eCameroon lokusikhuluma ukuthi if batawina game World Cup ma group stages khona bonus labatayithola.
In a tough group, Master, bana Brazil, bana Switzerland and Serbia. Being with Brazil on its own, it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, Fabrice. But I think the likes of Vincent Abubakar, the captain, one of my top strikers in the African continent, now, I think it's possible. Only Brazil ngvangatsi itaba strong kubo kancane, but the rest I feel like noma ngabe kuthiwa kuyendekani i draw but ayithola. Otherwise Cameroon ngibuka ngathi itabang number 2 ku Brazil kule group.
Let's not forget the likes of Chipo Moting also on the Cameroonian side. They are there, Brian Beu. Now, we're waiting for the stadiums. We're going to look at the stadium before we move on to other topics. But South Americans, the Europeans at some point, South Americans, as we look at the stadiums, there's a Uruguay, there's a Ecuador, there's Argentina.
Hey, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful.
This is beautiful. In Fabrice, listen attentively. This is the most expensive World Cup ever. The World Cup lena idule now onge in terms of organizing in everything. $229 billion lo spendiwe Qatar. The most expensive ever. So velunga understand immediately is they want everything
top notch.
Exactly. So unga understand ukuthi why imali engaka ispendwe ku World
for
Cup
30 days.
For only 30 days, but this is the biggest stage in world football.
Beautiful stuff. You can actually stay at the stadium. Stadium.
In fact, akona ma rooms kulesinye stadium kukhona iroom lo ngayibhuka lapho khona ungalala at the same time uvele nje uvule leyo glass door uphumele ku stadium sikhona khona la stadium ma price akhona nakhona embecolo because timvo letinhle atifiki ngamanani laphansi tiyadula Fabrice.
All right, Khalifa Stadium, where the likes of Cameroon, you talk about Brazil, they will be playing their games. I'm also tempted to talk about the likes of Argentina, but it's one of the stadiums that will accommodate African teams being Cameroon. Look at the technology. The stadium has a capacity of, if the temperature is rising up to 35, they can minimize the temperature to the lowest level of 20 to 25 for everyone within the stadium. Those are the aircon facilities and everything inside.
Uteka indzaba lemcoka kakhulu indzaba ye climate in Qatar ama temperatures ayifike ku 39 so lama stadiums akhiwe ukuthi le aircon kushayise lo moya lapha ekhasi groundini kuze kungato affecta balandzeli kungato affecta badlali lapha ekhasi groundini. So I think almost everything yendiwe kahle eQatar. Forget about the politics ukuthi iWorld Cup bekumele ukuthi iye khona yini noma bekungakameli ukuthi iye khona. Sivela phhlungu nje Fabrice bonke bamfula basishile emhlabeni basakha stadium khona eQatar. Ngicabanga ukuthi logo akusiyo involve noma wonke muvu singasho ukuthi madvuvu kubo bonke labo labalahlekelwe ihlobo basakha tona stadium eQatar. Otherwise it's awesome stuff. Washo Tarib.
Right. Some of the stadium construction beginning as early as 2013, when the country was confirmed as host by the then Sepp Blatter, president of FIFA then. Now, look at the technology at its best. I think, Qatar, the Federation, Football Association in Qatar has highlighted that some of the stadium will be donated to needed countries. They stopped using the word needy, like Ahmad Stadium. They don't want to use the word needy countries, but countries who need stadium to host major tournament. They talk about Olympics. France came up as a name. They say, no, what? France said, no, not. We're good on our own. We can construct our own stadium to host the 2024 Olympics. But it goes with that say. You talk about how an area master ngabanje, surrounded by a desert, but have a beautiful construction of this
to tell you what, Qatar, within all the stadiums, ungatravela 70 kilometers utihambe tonke.
That's how close they are to each other.
Yes. Lokusho ukuthi nawusuka eMbabane, nawufika kaHlatsi ungabe sothambe tonke le stadium.
So kune stadium la, kune stadium eGebus, kune stadium eMarkens, kune stadium Lozita, kune stadium Gamanzini, kune stadium Elouvre.
Stadium, yes, Stadium 1974. This is a stadium lengakazi yabakhona in the history of World Cup. In the history of World Cup, yakhiwe ngema container, the shipping containers. Sivamise kwabona kakhulu lakithi asentshentiswa kuboma saloon tonke letinvo leto. So this stadium after the World Cup sitawu donatelwa live lelibonakala ukuthi lidzinga kakhulu. We are praying as a country as
we can meet this.
live Eswatini because this 14 angikhumbula kahle 45,000 seater yakhiwe ngalama containers njengoba ngisho ukhuluma ngema tindlu texitela ema toilets ukhulume ngonke letinvo leto ma containers shipping containers. That's after the World Cup isuswe ihambe yokwakhiwa kulenye live litaba nenhlanhla ukuthi lithole yona le stadium lezi.
Now talking about this stadium, the likes of England, US, Group E, Netherlands, Wales will be playing in that stadium. And of course, the reason why it's called 974, Stadium 974, is because that's the number of containers that are used to build the stadium.
Yes.
The containers are 974. Now, next stadium, the beauty is on another level. Master, I think ngawuva ukuthi vele ticket lakho ucabanga ukuthi cancel. Usacabanga ukuthi cancel in Master Nabola stadium. Noma usaya khona.
Katse Fabrice la cancelwa tinvo tiyadula ekhathana lokuthi Eswatini TV utabusa kadabkhoma
it's your priority.
Yes vele umsebenzi ufika kuqala before kuyotichaza but nje Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi we are anticipating a very entertaining World Cup because nawubuka the way emafans asavela fikile eGhana itolo langa lonke bebase stradini bahlabela tingoma taseGhana where Africa were one where Ghana were one. So tonke lama stadiums and nalama designs because le design le Fabrice now bathi bayithathela you see the Muslims nakla bakufakela enhloko ngiyakhohlwa igama lawo. Yes so lo designer uthi the design of the stadium ukusukusela kuloko and uyabona vele la ngaphandle ukuthi kukanjalo. So ngicabanga ukuthi tonke tinvo timenge mumo eKatar Sunday sawubona one of the best opening ceremonies lesike wasawubona ku World Cup.
Beautiful stuff. And Sunday, you being one of the anchors here in the studio, we're hoping to get you or to see you kick-starting the World Cup. Ecuador against Qatar, your men in the studio live. Now, we were talking about the South Americans. We talk about the South Americans. You've got your Brazil. Quickly, there's Argentina. There's Uruguay. So, I don't know what you say. I don't want to undermine your Ecuador, but anything as we look at what we're seeing. But what's your take on that, as I'm saying? Ecuador is a corner, Qatar is a corner.
Yes, the opening game, Qatar versus Ecuador.
But yes, you go on, yes. Technical critiques.
Who knows? Because guys something in Moyeni. Maybe he's in Qatar.
Yes.
Yes. But for President Kabagutsi, we are anticipating a very entertaining game. Siyati ukuthi the Middle East, but by supporter kangana. In fact, bathenge amathikiti lamaningi kakhulu base-Middle East more than any other countries emhlabeni. Bongacabanga ukuthi bo-Brazil, England, Spain, Germany, but base-Middle East ngibo labathenge amathikiti kakhulu kwendlula. But ke Fabrice kunangathi nje kancane ubuka ema top scorers World Cup onke lama nations ukhuluma ukuthi Miroslav Klose nguye lona magoli amaningi kakhulu top scorer of all time ku World Cup. Our very own Asamoah Gyan nguye ilona magoli amaningi Africa 6 goals ku World Cup. So ungabona ukuthi Asamoah Gyan waqala 2006 eGermany ku feature ku World Cup. Ngicabanga ukuthi that's massive. Spain bana David Villa lona magoli amaningi naye ku World Cup. So ngicabanga ukuthi that's massive. Argentina Batistuta nguye lona magoli amaningi ku Argentina labaningi bangacabanga Maradona noma Lionel Messi but nguye lona magoli amaningi kakhulu. So the World Cup.
The viewers, I'm going to take a short insert. Before I take a short insert, the viewers have asked me to test your knowledge. Just one question. Now I'm going to ask you a question. The World Cup was hosted in Africa. I want the camera to be on me so that I can make sense to what I'm saying. The World Cup was hosted in Africa. I scored a goal against France, and club level, I once played for Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm an African player. Who am I?
Bongani Khumalo.
there you have it. I mean, you can rely on him in terms of expertise, in terms of knowledge, information. He's here on Sunday, Ecuador versus Qatar. The first game opening, he's going to be your host here in the studio from 6 p.m. local time. Prior to that, 1 hour prior to that, 5 p.m., you have full analysis in his company and the panel that shortly in the remaining days between Thursday and Friday, you'll get updates to who is going to be a part of the panel of the 2022 FIFA World Cup live here on Eswatini TV. Remember, 28 games will be live. Now, there was a chosen insert by one of you as viewers to say, just give us more information about this 9-7 stadium. Remember, the containers that build this stadium are 974. So says the name. Let's get more information about this stadium and how it could potentially assist other needy nations. Beautiful stuff. Stadium 974, what a stadium it is. Just to let you know that for your information, different parts of that stadium, be it the shipping containers and everything, will be distributed to different countries, not just one nation, different nations to be specific. So a lot to benefit by different nations, be it, the executive lounge. You can talk about the sofas, the chairs and everything that comes with the stadium. But enough about Qatar, because, we can talk about Qatar and we end up dreaming being in Qatar while we're in the studio. Sibuyela kha Eswatini master. Kule mpelasonto bekune MTN Kemani cycling road race where for the 9th time sibone bashovi bambasikili attending the competition in their numbers all the way out of the country. Master, wafika on a rainy day. For your own experience and observation, what took you, wabonani, wakanzani?
Fabrice, on Sunday ekseni belina kakhulu umgwaqo umandi kunetingungu abashovi bamabhayisikili batikhandla bahamba baya eMangayane kuyashova noma kuyodlala umcutshelwano wamabhayisikili for the first time wagcina kubanjwa lo mcutshelwano lo nga-2019 wasesoyamiswa wamiswa indzaba ye-COVID wema ke ubuyile ke kule mpelasonto lephelile uhlukaniswe ngetigaba letine lebe yinkulu nje umcutshelwano bekuyi-90 kilometers. This event ke Fabrice we team MTN Kemani lapho khona MTN is the main sponsor. Yes, wakhona ka MTN. MTN is the main sponsor yale mcutshelwano lo. But ke Fabrice lokungichaza kakhulu ngale mcutshelwano wemabhayisikili lo ukuthi akusibo laba local kuphela laba ngenela lo mcutshelwano lo, so aba popular even nakuma cyclists angaphandle kwakuleli, more especially yes laba chamuka eNingizimu Afrika and ke Fabrice mina ngiyaye ngithi nangifikile endzaweni ngibuke as much as kuba nama water points itonke letinvo leto, but kunelidolobha iMangayane lapha kunetitolo leti semagcinzelweni naMangayane bamfuna sebafuna kudla as much as emanti bawatholile, bobanana bawatholile, ema-gate bawatholile, but the city yakhona eMangayane bamvu baseMangayane babenefita because this is a big event nangakubeka kanjalo incumbi labashovi bamabhayisikili abawungenela kulo ngicabanga ukuthi it was a lovely day even though belina nalitulo. In fact, most of ema events aka cycling this year abe semvuleni about 2 kuphela nangakhumbula kahle ku10 labe khona akabi nalitulo. So ngicabanga ukuthi tibusiso tabo leto noma take president Zwide Nxumalo, but otherwise it was a lovely day. Ngiworried kodwa Fabrice nangibuka the level of a competition, more especially yes, the ladies, because ukhuluma ngabo nontsikelelo Mdlovu from the get go wahamba wayojika esicunusa because yena bekangenele i60 kilometers 60 kilometers wahamba from Mangayane to Sicunusa wasivula lesigaba, but at the end of the day wangakhona ukuthi athole i-first prize.
Ngiyambona Muzila in the blue and white.
Yes,
Muzi Shabanga wa top athlete in cycling.
Fabrice nalapho bengisaya ukuthi ngiworried if i-national champion for Muzi Shabanga ingathola number 6 egcineni. Like the South Africans, they dominated le race le nangibeka kanjalo Fabrice. Ngiworried kakhulu because kodwa ke Fabrice uma sibuka the way because now buka kule team le,
that's him, yes.
only Muzi is from MTN Keman. But the other cyclists from South Africa bahamba as a group, and now understand that is cycling lokuhamba as a group kunema benefits ayo lamanengi. So ngicabanga ukuthi nathi kuze sithatha le sport siye phambili, we need our top athletes labanjengabo Muzi ukuthi baqale inyalo babafunele ema teammates labatawukhona ukuthi bacyclishe nabo bakusethele pace, even nalo moya lo surroundako lapho uyacontribute kakhulu. The South Africans ngicabanga ukuthi akwenda lokho bobona ukuthi abashiyani, and they hate someone lapha lo gcoke lokuphephula is different from the team liyagcina iwinile, is different from the team liyagcina iwinile ngilolo wawina emlilwane. Yes, but the team beyifake lo munye lo fake white na phephula ngaphasi ngile team leyo bebakhona ukuthi bavula lo mgamu wabomtse kakhulu, but vele these are professional cyclists bona baphila ngako lento basebenta kona. Ngako ngithi mina nathi as a country siyathenga ukuthi cycling as a sport sikuthatha sikubeke kulesinye isigaba.
Right. Now, ngibona umuntu ufana na president, but just to give a view and a perspective, I've once had a chat with some of these international cyclists, but see what attracts them, good see they should come to cycling in Eswatini, Sicunusa border post, beautiful stuff, beautiful pictures. Now, what attracts them to come and cycle here? It's in terms of also the hills going up and down. Now, Bona, they're used to flat roads, so that's why they come here to get themselves a competition. Saying next time again, must nangabe umundu rotatkamanga ngaphandle awukhanze la uingosi khona every day you lead
la uchimela
khona njengamusi Shabanga, then wena bese uyakubid, then it means we need to up our game, or alternatively uthi competition engaka ukuthi ahlale number 1, but nasakuvera tournament njenga MTN Kamai.
Fabrice, there is no excuse ukuthi kude competition. If there is no competition lakhaya hamba ngaphandle utrainer khona utrainele ukuthi utoba expose utholele exposure. I-boxing Thabiso use Russia lapho dilolonga khona so nenyanga nyalo akhona khona. So even nangala ka cycling siyathenga ukuthi if sibona ukuthi okay kude kakhulu le competition akahambe phela high performance center lapho khona batafike atrain konke angene emgwaqweni acompete, not just 90 kilometers because Kemani this year uStoshile wasinike 90 kilometers 120 yes bangene emgwaqweni.
That's the stage for the Olympic
standard. Yes but ngicabanga ukuthi kancane Fabrice, if lama imicuthelano lefana nale itawukhula itasinika nakule sikufunako, because sike sema vele le period yekuma ngicabanga ukuthi ifike yasiphathamisa kakhulu as a country, because besingakhona ukuthi ama cyclists ethu angene a compete, some of them besarelaxile angakhona nekujima kahle.
Beautiful stuff. Now, beautiful picture we can see with the president on the left trying to, get back on the back, Mr. Zwide, part of the day, they can't feel the rain. This is the motivation we want. This is the spirit we want. Be part of the job. Quite a number of people there. There's also Mr. Dlamini, the president of M10 Kemani Cycling Club on the left. I'm also saying that's Dr. Futi. Yes, Dr. Futi on the left. I'm also seeing in the center Mr. Wandiramchat. Now, Master, we're going to listen to them, but they dominated the international people. The tournament is still growing. Do we get a chance in tournaments like that, as associations cycling, to interchange with these teams and clubs that come from outside to say, you know what, when is your road race? Can we come and test ourselves? Because that's the exposure we need. Athletes but does the association take that initiative to say, let's get our cyclists outside exposure, like interacting with these cyclists from South Africa?
Before speaking association, Fabrice, my clubs.
Yes.
My clubs are fall under association. The cyclists are fall under my clubs. Ngakwendela example because bamvu ipola bayijwayele. Angeke i-football association ithathe umdlali we club X imthathe imhambise iyom-attach amaZulu eSouth Africa, but lo club X nguye lo tawubona ukuthi okay iplayer yami itawudzinga ukuthi ihambe iyo-trainer amaZulu in South Africa for a period of time. So nalama clubs ukhuluma ngabo M10 Kemani ema-clubs lacishe asamatsala ukhuluma ngabo kusekhaya cycling ngicabanga ukuthi badzinga ukuthi lama cyclists ngiyambuka nje ngibuka noNsikelelo the young cyclists female cyclists the spirit lesila kuye, the way manager wakhe endangayo tinvo ngayo tagcina amlimete because ngiyakhumbula irace yaka Momondi Epic Band wafika late nebicycle lakhe wayicala late race last weekend nguye noNsikelelo Mdlovulo this weekend uyiwinile le race but wangakhona ukuthi bam award i-first prize because le chip lekumele ukuthi la kucaleni le starting point kukhala ukuthi tit bekangakufaki wakufaka endleleni then nasabuya yesu sokufakile but kumele kusi lo mshini ukurecognize na ukuqala from the starting point bekete ke yena
because usho ukuthi kune distance bayahamba umshini ungambali ukuthi ukhona
ungambali ukuthi ukhona kule tournament then nge number 2 wakhe lokungisebenele magongo wagcina anikwa lokuba yiwinner kanzoba number 2. So ngicabanga ukuthi those are the small technical issues lekumele ukuthi alungiswe as a manager akudzingeki because she's young, she's passionate and uyayibulala le talent yakhe if utawuchubeka wena wende lama mistakes lawo.
Now, let's hear what some of the winners on the day, title sponsors, association representative, top well-known faces in the cycling industry, the likes of Moses Shabangu, talk about Mbusi Motsa, what they had to say about the competition on that rainy Sunday at the Mangayani.
Pleasant, but yeah, this route it's not easy. It's an extremely tough route. So yeah, the boys and the men came out to play, but yeah, I had a really strong day, strong legs, and the teammates also, they had an amazing job as well. So it was a good day for us. I was actually here first in 2018 for I think the 135k. It was more of the flat route. But yeah, I mean, there's been months and months of preparation, especially for 94.7 next weekend. Because that's also quite a big race, and then double century in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, it's been a really good year so far.
I'm overwhelmed. It was my first time doing this race. It was brutal, but I'm glad I made it. It's wet, the roads, I had to be extra careful on the road. And then also the climbs, they just didn't make it any easier. So yeah. Well, this year I'm actually happy because I have like a series of goals, ne? So last year I picked up cycling, and then this year my goal was to be known, probably be the champ, but to be known. So I've achieved that, and then my bigger goal now for next year and beyond is to be competitive in an international level. So that's what I'm actually working towards.
Namuhla ngithanda nje le weather, ngiyathanda ku ride nangabe nje. Bekumnanzi, the road was okay, but besitshotshwa inkomo la mgwaqweni. They were just too much. We had to catch our brakes, which was like dangerous. But I enjoyed my ride.
It went very well. Tough out there, especially with the rain. You can't see going down the hills, but it's a hell of a brutal route. All those climbs, it's not a joke, hey? But it was well, it was good. I enjoyed it, very nice.
Overalling ride kahle, but towards the end I think sebenze kakhulu the first 50k, so towards the end I couldn't make it. So yeah, kungkhama because even the numbers bona bebang 4 and I was the only Swazi lapha, so vele kungkhama bebangkhama, but for experience it's good experience.
I know very cool. I think Nastala it was raining heavily, yeah. But yeah, we have managed to finish. It was really exciting. I think it's enjoyable. Yeah. The route is very tough. From my first time to come up there, yeah, but yeah, it was tough. The Mangani Mountains, yeah, they are not so easy. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I'm back to the race. It's very exciting. I think Sibonile, even as we followed the cyclist on route, could see it was very even close, even for Muzi, because I think they dropped him on the last climb. Otherwise, it's interesting to see he's been able to keep up with the professional cyclists who came in to join us for the race. So it was a very good race for the locals as well, and also we're happy to have seen international cyclists, professional cyclists coming in and joining us for the race.
Unintested 200,000 Emalangeni was injected in by the title sponsor MTN, giving into the MTN Cycling Club that is in charge of the organizing of the tournament. The club itself organizes the tournament and gets the funds from the title sponsor MTN. Now, something very unusual was done by him and the other colleague who has been off, should I say off form here in the studio for quite some time. I don't want to say much. Just take a look. We'll talk about the insert after that try that you're going to look at on the screen.
Hey, Partizan CBS, siyabona namhla bo shova libhayisikili ngabe kambe njani?
Kumanzi amancane. No, like serious though. I'm never again criticize any cyclist about the race yakhe ukuthi isikhathi esinjani. Of course, I feel like I could have done better if being prepared Chile, but I didn't. This was the first attempt, and first attempt emangayane lemcansa but I'm glad I did it. I'm very looking forward to the next race, but first things first, kumele ngiqale ngi-practice ngijime more, because lana without training, without practicing, but I appreciate every cyclist lo khombithako 95, 65, everyone every weekend ahamba uruna kuza. I appreciate him and her more nyalo lokusengikwendile nami first hand.
Siyabonga Phathizo, siyabona naleli thulusi bo cyclisha ngalo namhla ukuthi ngicumbe abantu behamba ngema road bikes but wena bohamba mountain bike MTB. Kube khona ini hindrance ngokuthi bohamba ngewena ngelibhayisikili lelihlukile?
I think le resistance ibeyine kakhulu la kuleli bicycle leli, because lithela khona likhulu vele, so kanti labanye bashanga lamancane, so they just flying off the surface. But mina ibe kungikhama vele ngisho kanjalo kanike naleli tulo, as much as leli tulo for someone ongaka gym lingisitile to keep cool every time. But bengithi mangicyclisha more, especially when kwehlela ngizama ukuthi ngidawucover more ground, but bese fokushanga leli tulo lapsweni uvuthi sengigcina into ngathi angisaboni, uvuthi sengidaslow down again. But otherwise next time I do hope ukuthi ngidawubuya nelibhayisikili laleyo surface lelungelako. Otherwise I enjoyed myself today.
Wow, preach what you can do. I'm trying to see siba kanjalo master nathi nabasi interview. It sounds like very cyclist ropemvura ukuthi beka resta kanjani. But ngworried man ithumbe takhe ulanzelwa ngeambulance ake baba right master. Kusichazela official.
After an unfortunate situation, incident,
yes,
leyendeka about 3 weeks ago, Phathizo had to kugibela
Share
bicycle
himself
just
out, yes.
muscles yes ato buya a function kahle so ngicabanga ukuthi
Council ambulance is aware of the unfortunate situation. Uthi ngaphindze
yeah
Alright.
nalokhu sayibona le ndlela labasashova ngayo but ngicabanga ukuthi kukutshela something Fabrice ukuthi ichinga ukuthi preparation sport every sport we are preparation njengoba asho ukuthi next time uyathinga ukuthi ate preparation and ke ngilese kukhuthatha ukuthi if ukhuluma ema sports yiba ingcenye ema sports nawe nje kuBabhosa Classic lalaba phakamisa tinsimbi sikathile kubona Fabrice Msonera naye ayohamba ayoshape lapha avete ama muscles because uyashima ungusigaqagaqa so sikathile ukubona kuma events la
I think
kanje
ngalunga ka chess master. Kanzi chess nakhona isport. But to you master, wake waveta cricket as one of the sport because lokunye ngakubona I think some of the association they also have that in their mind ukuthi can we sometimes as journalists be in the field and explain what it happens to you? Where can we explain from me as a sport?
Yes Fabrice manning vele ma sports lectinga ukuthi kudlale but it's so unfortunate ukuthi lesinye isikhathi vele kudinga ukuthi sibe lapha sishuthe konke lokho kusuke kwendeka lesikhathi sibasincane lokuthi singasithola leso sikhathi sekwenda lokho lesikwendako otherwise vele every journalist kudinga ukuthi le reportako ikwadi inga criticize nje njengoba phathizo asho ukuthi akaphinza criticize umshofeli bicycle ngalendlela bekamcriticize ngayo njengoba ngisho ukuthi nawe sigazile ukubona mini cricket cricket volleyball ngakudlala ibhola ngakudlala ngicabanga ukuthi nawe sigazile kubona ihlangoselanga ngakho because ibhola iyakwehlula sigase kubona ungena kuBabhosa Classic.
Now, Master, a quick one. Let's talk about, this is Sunday. Ne? Sunday, you were doing cycling. Now, Saturday, swimming as a sport. Over the weekend, we say Enchabulweni, Wafiga, Wakanzan. Clubs are coming in their numbers. Give us more.
Yes Fabrice ngemgcibelo enjabulweni esikolweni ibe kune tournament igala all age group gala but ke le gala lebe ihlukile ke Fabrice because sijwayele ukuthi emagala organizwa association this is the first gala lebe organizwa club Griffin swimming club club yamak ngiyo lebe organize le gala le siyakhumbula ukuthi la nakangena president washo ukuthi ufuna ukuthi incumbi yamagala the teams kube ngiyo la wara nawo kube yinvo yalama teams so yayithatha ke le initiative yona iGriffin swimming club yangena yathi no thina singayihosta event le kanjena bayihostile successfully and nawubuka leti nombolo talama swimmers labeka khona lapha bethi cabansi bethi jabulisa but kakhulu bethi jabulisa noma ngabe iweather beyifuna kubaphathamisa but lokhu ngijabulisa kakhulu Fabrice I'm happy ngeswimming I'm happy ngecycling I'm happy ngetaekwondo every
athletics.
Time no la ngiyakhona every time nangibona i-event lenabantwana badlala sport ema parents akhona ato supporter bantwana we need that because umntwana uyamotivateka nakabona umntali wakhe atomsupporter nakenda noma siphi sport lasendako so pick up to yona batali ba swimming pick up to batali be taekwondo pick up to batali be cycling bonke lalaba khona ukuthi ba support abantu babo.
Beautiful stuff. Now, what a day it was. A new club was introduced. Tell us about the new club.
Yes, kune club yaseSimunye Splash swimming club. Club lensha lena yes coach wayo noma lo msunguli wayo Mxolisi Mbanza siyamati ka swimming but it's a new club letawuba based eSimunye bebangene kugala yabo yesibili because 2 weeks back i-association yayinegala yayo then last week bekune gala linye futhi le yeGriffin lebesikhuluma ngayo so bangenile baba introducer as the newest club lika swimming ngicabanga sinabo because akhona lamanye ama clubs swim lab bakhona nabo sibajwayele itawungeta leyo competition siyayifuna competition ngala ka swimming ngabe sesekudominator yinye i-team nalokuthi labantwana vele banengi labafuna kwenda le i-sport se swimming so vele ama teams ayadzingeka ukuthi abe khona every year kube nama teams lamasha.
Beautiful stuff. Now, that's good news to the residents of Simunye. just knowing that there's a club that you can rely on. If you have a child, anyone who wants to join the sport, this is your chance. There is one club. They're just splashing to everyone within the Simuni, splashing Simuni. Now, beautiful stuff. Now, I talked about 96 hours prior to the kick of the tournament, of the show. So now it's 95. So let's talk about Sunday. This is the main day. The World Cup is here. No excuse. Next time we meet with the viewers, we'll be talking about the biggest tournament on earth, the World Cup. You can't wait, Master. More research goes into the work now from here as you go home.
Fabrice, kude kuphumula. Thina lesikufisa kakhulu ukuthi silese the best product for loyal viewers.
Beautiful stuff. Now, what I can advise you is that just do stay tuned to all the programs, especially sports programs that are in touch with you live on Eswatini TV. Be it on the news, be it at 1 p.m. and 7 and 8, be it on both shows, and be it also on our social media groups, be it on Facebook and every on Instagram. Some of the updates that we'll be giving you in relations for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Like I highlighted, you want to know part of the panel, some of the analysts that will be here in the studio, former players, current players. That is a secret that I'm keeping from you. Just know that they're going to be here live on your number channel. I cannot wait for Sunday. This man, he will be here for the first game, Ecuador, Qatar. He will be alongside some people. I can't tell you. It's a surprise. Thursday or Friday, you will get to know on our daily programs who are those analysts for the 28 games live here on Eswatini TV. Samba Ganchar. Gamnans, of course.